Hi everyone, I'm Jasmine Dancy. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Romulus Community Connection Weekly News Show. We have some video highlights to share with you this week. Take a look at these scenes from the Community Police Forum on October 1st.
This gentleman that will be coming forward had a very tremendous career in the National Basketball Association, 15-year plus career in the National Basketball Association. And most folk can't take care of their house for 15 years. But this gentleman was in that profession for 15 years, a very grueling profession. And so that alone right there speaks volumes. But ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, please put your hands together and welcome Romulus native, Mr. Grant Long.
I won't be before you long. I'm going to be real brief. First of all, I want to thank everybody on the panel for taking out the time on your Saturday. I want to thank you all for coming because communication doesn't start unless there's people to communicate with. So I thank you for spending your Saturday with us. As Principal Hall said, this whole thing started with me meeting with Mayor Burcroft and the police chief. And it was met with open arms. That opened the door right there, that they were ready to receive it and were ready to move forward with it with no hesitation. It doesn't happen unless minds come together in some type of agreement that we are going to move forward. And the thing that I really loved about it is that when I brought the idea to them, they all got on board because they said, whatever going to be best for the city of Romulus is what we're going to do. And that was my main goal. This is where I grew up, this is where I was raised, this is where my family still lives. So it's very important to me, to the community, that we are doing something proactive that keeps this city going in the right direction. Amen. I don't want to get into this when something bad happens. We want to be proactive now so we know how to deal with it in the event, or we keep it from happening. I should say. We want to keep it from happening. And that's why we meet. That's why we talk about scenarios, the different scenarios. We need to hear from our community as to what's on their mind. What can we do to make it better for you guys, to make it better for our first responders? I think back to a long time ago, in a particularly small communities like Romulus, when you used to look on the street and you would see police car number 45 coming down the street, and you knew exactly who was driving that car because you had a relationship with those officers. Right. We need to get back to that when we see car number 45. Well, that's John and that's Bill. Right. They know you and you know them. When you have a relationship with people, you have an understanding of who they are, what they're doing. If they look out of place, you can approach them and say, hey, what's going on, Bob? Right. And there's no friction there because you have a relationship, a communication has been established, a relationship has been established. That keeps a lot of things from coming up. So that's my main goal. Open up the lines of communication. Let's foster a better relationship between our community, that we have a safer community, not only for us, but for our first responders as well.
Amen. Here's some highlights from the cemetery gate ribbon cutting on October 5th.
This is part of our board. This is Jerry Wendland, Sheldon Chandler, Tammy McGrane. Greg is, I understand, had a little accident of some kind, so he's not here, and Linda Choate is ill, so she's not here. But we started this in 2009 with money raised just from people who donated and who believed in us. Along came Tim Keyes. And Tim found us Jim Jones from W.H. Cannon. If it wasn't for those two men, we wouldn't have these beautiful trees across the front. Jim had a vision for our cemetery. We altered it a little bit, but it turned out beautiful. I cannot thank you two gentlemen enough. I can't thank the council, the mayor, everybody who has supported us. This gate is a symbol of respect and dignity for all our loved ones buried in this cemetery. And I am very proud of it. Thank you. I got it.
Okay. All right, are we ready? This is big stuff now. 1, 2, 3. Officially gate open, yes. Good job, everybody. Thank you very much. And just do your part in keeping the cemetery and the city clean. That's all we ask.
With us today, I have Dr. Jamie Nelson, Director of the Early College Program for Romulus Community Schools. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks. So the Early College Program, I know, is pretty new in the district, and it seems really exciting. It's getting some good momentum going. So why don't you tell us a little bit about how the program got started?
Okay. Yes, we're very excited about the program. We're in our 4th year now, so last year we graduated our first students from the program, and so they finished with their high school diploma and their associate's degree. Past counselor, Miss Lisa Mockridge, actually spearheaded the program, and then I was very excited to be able to take over this year.
So as far as the program, the early college program goes, what does that entail? What do students actually do, and what's involved?
Sure. The exciting thing about early college is that students get to be in high school and college at the same time, but they're not just dually enrolled. They have me helping them both at the school and at the college, and there's also a lot of support through the program on both sides. And what happens is they apply their 10th grade year, and then their junior year and senior year, they're taking classes both at high school and college, and then as they get older and older, their 3rd year in the program, they're taking almost all college classes.
Okay, so it's a 3-year program.
Yes.
And then, again, you'll be graduating with your high school diploma and your associate's degree,
yes,
if you choose.
Yes, yes. And I mean, a very special thing in today's times about the program is that it's 100% free, including books are paid for, which can be a savings from anywhere to $15,000 to $40,000 for each student.
Oh my gosh, that's huge.
Right, it's wonderful. I wish that we had something, back in school. And it's open to all students in Wayne County, so students are starting to apply from out of the district schools so that they can take an advantage of it. Because right now we're the only school in Wayne County that offers this comprehensive program where you work together with a teacher to finish with your associates.
Okay, very cool.
Yes.
So when a student is actually enrolled in this program and they join, what kind of environment do they expect as far as their cohort and the kind of a typical day goes?
Yeah, great question. And their week looks different than a traditional student. Our cohorts, we try to keep them at about 30 so that there's the intimacy and more chance for one-on-one time with me and their professors. The program is growing, so those numbers might expand to 2 cohorts in the future. Their day looks different depending on the year. Their first year in the program, they take 3 classes at the high school and 2 classes at college. Okay, and those college classes are cohort classes, meaning their first year they're still only with Romulus students, although it's still the college curriculum with college professors. They also are with me 3 days a week in something called seminar, where we work on study skills. I do grade checks, we review for exams, and that's where that connection between I'm able to talk directly with their professors and really give the wraparound service. Cool. Their senior year, they're only at the high school for 2 high school classes. They're with me 2 days a week for seminar, and then they take 3 classes at the college. This time, their classes are both cohort classes and their own electives by themselves. So you can see that we're just, slowly pushing into full-time college life, but still not just throwing them out there ever.
Okay.
Their 3rd year and final year in the program, they do come back to the school for 1 hour a day, and now some of them have an option to even take that class online.
Okay.
And then they're a full-time college student, 4 classes, 1 final cohort class, and the rest are their choices, what they want to, finish their program in.
Okay. And all of this takes place at Wayne County Community College?
Yes, the Western Campus right on Haggerty Road.
So very convenient.
Very convenient. And we actually provide transportation to the college. So most of the students carpool home, and I haven't had anyone who couldn't do the program because of transportation.
Okay, great.
Yes.
So as the students are getting ready to be enrolled, and if this sounds like a great program for our viewers or people who might be interested, what kind of responsibilities would come onto the family or the parents of a prospective student?
Okay, that's a great question. Because it needs parental involvement and support to work, because it isn't as traditional of a high school day. So there is once students apply, we're going to have an informational meeting. We could talk about that in a little bit. So after this, when the applications come out, which will be in February, part of the official application process is that the parents do have to attend the meeting before the applications are even considered, because we want everyone to know all the requirements and to make sure that everyone is committed, and that parents are on board and understand. And then as far as parental commitment, there's no financial commitment. The transportation home is the main thing that's different than the regular school day, and just the support and understanding that their student is going to work harder than a typical high school student. It is a very rigorous program with great rewards, and it is doable. These kids succeed. We have a very high success rate, almost 100%.
Oh, that's great.
Yes.
So I know you said that you just graduated the first class last year. How many students were in that program?
35 students actually completed the first year.
Okay, great. And then, so you're still continuing the program each year, and how many students are enrolled at this time for the whole school?
Yes. Overall, we have 105 students total.
So that's students in their first, second, or third years of the program?
Exactly. Yes.
Okay.
And so they're each working with me, and then over at Wayne County Community College, Miss Carrie Wallace works just with students that are both in high school and college, and we have offices right next to each other, so they have some strong support on both sides. We're definitely not just saying go out and figure it out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. So
Yeah.
this is a really exciting program, I think, especially to be happening right here in our own city, in our own Romulus district.
Yes.
It's a great choice for students that, maybe live here in Romulus but are currently attending other schools.
Right.
Because it's totally open to anybody that lives in Wayne County.
Yeah, and I have had interest and phone calls from people outside of Romulus schools because there isn't another program like this.
So if anybody is interested, when is your upcoming meeting to learn more about the program?
We have an informational meeting on Thursday, October 20th at Romulus High School in room 519 at 6 o'clock. And that's where I'll be available to answer questions, but also just to give a general overview of the program. And that is open to any 8th through 10th grade student in Wayne County and their parents. And even if you're just remotely curious, come on by. I'll have some information to give you and be glad to answer any questions.
Okay. So students that are actually in their 10th grade year can start applying for this program. So when would they be looking at deadlines?
Okay, students will apply in February, and then there's a process to determine who is in the program, which includes the parents coming to that meeting. The goal is to have all admissions decisions by March 1st so that students can start planning for the next year. If we have students coming into the Romulus district, they can make plans, and that's so I can get to know each one of them one by one to start them in the program.
Okay, wow,
Yes.
that's great.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for being here, Dr. Nelson. And do you have any contact information where somebody could reach you for other questions?
Absolutely. Email is a great way to go because I can get back to people right away, which is jknelson, Nelson, at romulus.k12.mi.us, or you're welcome to call me as well at 734-532-1057.
Okay, great. And our viewers should be seeing that on their screen right now as well.
Oh, perfect.
Well, thank you so much for being here today, and hopefully our viewers learn something new about our local district, and it's a great program to definitely check out.
Yes, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. The Romulus Athletic Center will be holding Rack or Treat on Sunday, October 30th from 5 to 7:30 p.m. This event is free for members and $5 for non-members. This has been Romulus News You Can Use. You can stay connected with us on romulusgov.com or on facebook.com/City of Romulus. If you'd like to take another look at this newscast, any of our city council meetings, or other cable programming, please visit our YouTube channel at youtube.com/City of Romulus. Have a great week, everybody.